there is an abundance of products out there that one could sell online. And sometimes people tell you when starting an e-commerce business or a business in general that you should stick to stuff that sells and not your passions. But in today's video, we're going to cover a store that's totally crushing it on Shopify. They're doing over $7 million a month, and they're in a passion category. I mean, it's actually a massive market. So there will be a lot of cool things to explore in this video, a lot of interesting research that I've uncovered. And ultimately, we're just going to talk about how you can build a business in a gray category. A gray category is one that I would consider one that you can't really run ads for. And this is one of those. The store is called Benchmade, and they make everyday carry knives. Now, this is what I mean about writing trends. If you guys watch my channel a lot, I show you some of our results from the agency. We've done 6-figure days for some Shopify stores and stuff like that. But I always talk about writing a wave, and this is a really great way to do it, right? Because look, you could look up just like the word knife or knives, right? And you'll see that it's kind of like a dying trend. It's not really interesting. It's like too broad. But when you go EDC knife, right, like everyday carry knife, you see a massive booming trend. I mean, this is starting to, I guess, flatten out. But still, this is a really, really massive trend. And these guys are pretty much the top dogs in it. I actually love their logo because it's like a butterfly. I don't know if you guys know butterfly knives, but I feel like that's a cool contrast to the brand, right? Like a beautiful butterfly, even though it's also a knife, but then also knives, which are kind of violent and just cool in a lot of ways. Now, these guys crush it with their content marketing. Like, look at these images, right? Like, it's not a surprise they're doing these numbers. They are totally crushing it. These knives look awesome. So for example, we can look at this water knife. I mean, I didn't even really ever think about the fact that some knives are for like water occasions, right? When you're fishing and stuff like that. And this is kind of what I think about when it comes to passion projects, where I see having a huge advantage is when you actually understand a niche like so well, like the back of your hand, right? Because like I just said, I mean, I think knives are cool, but I'm no knife expert. So until today, I never really thought about, you may want a knife that's specifically used for water occasions, not just a normal knife. Like if I was fishing, and I know I'm going to sound like an idiot here, but I would just take whatever pocket knife I have, right? But that's really interesting. Very cool. So let's actually go back. Let's explore one other category here. I do wonder, I'm guessing the EDC. Wow, these look really cool. Not going to lie. I really love that little tie thing. So let's look up EDC knife. Let's just do the same thing, the same trend that we're looking into. So as you see here, okay, I am glitching out. So here's some everyday carry knives, right? So they got some pretty cool ones here. These are very high ticket. I mean, $310 is no joke by any means. This one looks really cool, and it's $200. Let's see where there's more. Okay, so they have a lot of different kinds of daggers as well, I guess you could call them. This is pretty cool. But the bad thing about this category is that you can't really run ads to it because on Meta, you're not allowed to. As you see, they're running 0 ads, and I think the only reason why is because it's a prohibited category. Now, let's just take a look at one of these. I kind of like this one, so let's just analyze it a little bit, see what the landing page looks like before we hop into how they're actually marketing the store. And I'll show you even some of the traffic data here. I have a pro subscription to SimilarWeb, so you get to take advantage of that on this channel. So as you see here, they got a beautiful image here, beautiful video that kind of goes through every single product in detail. And then they have different colors that you can buy. Very cool. The reviews. Honestly, it's not that crazy. I love that they have the text here on the image. That's always a really smart thing to do. I love when brands have text in the images because sometimes people just scroll images. Of course, for something like this, it's likely that they'll also scroll through the page a bit, but the images are very, very important, of course. It's the first thing people see. This is a really cool lifestyle pick. That's what I think is cool about this brand, right? It's like, it's really a content brand a lot because these are just very aesthetically pleasing images. And like, as a guy, you see that and you're like, hell yeah, right? So just like, they're really appealing to that. And you see that on their Instagram too. Their reels are really clean. They're posting like very, very clean images, which just look cool. I mean, I think even posting more, I mean, they do post these like lifestyle images, but I don't even see a knife in here. So, I would probably try to put a knife in there somehow. I also do think there are ways that they could get away with marketing on Meta. We've worked with a lot of different brands at Chemulab. By the way, check out the new site. It's looking pretty clean. I'm not going to lie. So chemulab.ai, that's the current domain because we still have .com and I haven't transferred it yet, but pretty clean site. So, make sure you guys go check it out and book a call with us if you're interested in, any of these services right here. We love to work with Shopify brands, but they also do post a lot on Twitter or X, which is really interesting. They're actually doing quite well on here. They're posting very consistently and reaching a decent amount of people, which is awesome. I'm guessing they're running X ads because on X, it's a little bit more lenient, you could say. I've seen CBD ads and things like that, but they're definitely taking advantage of organic marketing, and they are running YouTube ads. So this right here is a YouTube ad, because it has 94K views in 7 days, and their videos don't usually do that. So they are running ads on YouTube, it seems. Not exactly sure how. It's probably also a little bit difficult to get approved, but it's definitely possible. You can see it here too, 157,000 views in 4 months. So with a brand like this, and when it comes to advertising, you just got to get creative. But there's certainly ways that you can do it. One thing I would love for them to do is to create a TikTok. And honestly, they could create, for example, like 3 TikTok pages that are actually theme pages for each one of their different, accessories or knife occasion, right? So a fishing knife one, right? A page that's all about the fishing knives, and they just make like really aesthetic TikToks about fishing. And then, they do that for all the different knives. And then they could also just repost all that content into its own respective page on Instagram and stuff like that. That's like the coolest thing that you can do these days with organic marketing is the algorithms are so good at finding the right audience to show the videos to, even if you have 0 followers, which is really cool, right? That's really convenient, especially for a brand that can make a lot of dope content like this. That's another thing I would do if I were them, if I had this brand. I would love to invest in a brand like this in the future and own a part of it. This looks super, super cool. But let's actually look at the metrics now, because I think we learned as much as we can from their marketing. It's just really, really well done images. Again, I think they could really go crazy with shorts and reels and just short form content because of how beautiful the products are. And that would probably get them to 8 figures a month if they're not doing that already. I'm also guessing that they have a pretty good distribution channel when it comes to retail and being in stores. But as you see here, interesting. So they have a Benchmade water site. So this is benchmadewater.com. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So they do have one for each. That's pretty interesting. So they're kind of applying what I just said when it comes to Instagram pages or TikTok pages, but on the website level. So, hey, guys, why not just implement it on the TikTok level? That'd be really cool. Happy to help on that. But as you see, a lot of their traffic is coming from Reddit and YouTube. That's not surprising. I showed you that they are running YouTube ads. But Reddit is a little bit surprising. That's a lot of traffic. Like their top traffic source when it comes to socials is Reddit. That's pretty interesting right there. Reddit ads are definitely undervalued. I did test them on one client a while ago with my team, and I remember we were breaking even on them, which to me was a win, right? Because you're acquiring a whole new customer base on a totally different platform that not a lot of people are really looking into. But it makes sense for this kind of product because they're super high quality. They are expensive, but people are willing to spend on things that are high quality, I would say. And especially with inflation, right? Like a lot of things that are not even high quality are expensive. So you might as well sell your really high quality stuff for a good price so you can actually make a good margin and continue to scale. But ultimately, I thought this was really cool, so I wanted to show it to you. It's a little bit different than the brands we regularly review because they're not running ads in particular. But that doesn't mean that they're not running ads. It just means that they're not running meta ads, which is kind of the main site that we look at. When it comes to running ads, it's one of our main focus at Chemulab just because it's so powerful. It's just got the strongest machine learning and overall best results at scale and most consistent results, most predictable results, unless you get banned, right? But this is a site that also publishes them a lot, which is pretty interesting. Gear Patrol, huh? So these kinds of sites are really, really cool. And as you see, they have partners. So, it's a content site, but they're using it as a way to drive traffic to these restricted categories, but not just restricted categories. But interesting. A lot of these brands look into publishers like these in order to get more traffic. But as you see, this is actually one that's popping off for them. So 800% change. So these guys are really driving a lot of traffic to Benchmade. This is a really cool blog here. 5 million monthly visitors. Wow. Yeah, pretty genius thing that I've seen brands do too is like buy these kinds of content sites and then, just use them to promote their own thing. I think that's a brilliant idea too, especially for restricted categories like I'm talking about, but not just restricted categories. It can really be any category because these sites probably make a good amount of money in just affiliate revenue, but then also in just AdSense revenue. As you see, they're, showing ads. And also in sponsored revenue, publishing revenue. So it's a good income stream, a good cash flow business that you could buy for your brand, but then also it can be a traffic engine for your brand too. So that's a pretty cool thing that people have done. I've seen people do it. I've never done it, but I think I would do that, in the future. And actually, maybe if there's any cool like Shopify blogs out there, I would buy your Shopify blog if it looks really clean. And if it's doing some sort of numbers, that would be really helpful for me. And it would be a pretty fun project. So just putting it out there. If anyone out there has some sort of marketing, e-commerce, Shopify type of blog or site or something like that, hit me up. I might be interested in buying it. But that's really about it for this video. I know it was a little bit long. I do want to say one thing before I go. I'm going to start streaming very soon. So make sure that you turn on the notifications on my channel because I got a pretty big watch list here. I'm going to show you. We got a lot of great videos to watch that I just haven't gotten around to because honestly, I've been busy just building stuff and having fun. But this is why I love streaming. To be honest, it's a great excuse to just watch content with you guys and watch content that I've been wanting to watch. Make content as a byproduct and then also learn, so much incredible information. If you just curate yourself a list of incredible content out there, you could build, basically a $1 billion library, like $1 billion worth library of content, especially if you're a business owner, right? Because you can learn from literal billionaires on YouTube for free. It's pretty unbelievable. Honestly, great time to be alive. Don't let all the doomers, make you think otherwise. But yeah, guys, that's it. Peace.